Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. Also, if you are new, welcome. My name is Cambriea, and this week for my Helping Hand series, we are helping an elderly couple deep clean for free while they were out of town. This is actually my parents' neighbors, and they are a very sweet older couple. The wife actually keeps a very neat, clean house for the most part, but I'm sure you guys know as you get older, there's certain things that are just harder to do. And her husband is a large man, very tall, but he has a lot of mobility issues with age. So I know that there's just certain things that are, one, a lot more work for her as she's taking care of her husband, but also just a lot harder when you're in your upper 80s. So that is what we are tackling today. I'm starting in their front room. I know this is the room that they sit in most of the day. If you're wondering why the couch is on a platform, like I said, her husband is a very, very tall man. So if he's not in the lift chair, he will lay on the sofa, and having the height makes it a lot easier for him to get up and down. So if you're curious why the furniture is laid out a little awkwardly, that is why. So a lot of the things I wanted to get done this day was obviously give everything a really good dusting, but also move the furniture that I could. There was certain furniture that was heavier that I didn't really want to mess with, but a lot of the furniture was pretty easy to move around. So I wanted to make sure to get behind it and dust it and vacuum it and everything like that. I also wanted to get some of these windows done. They have the crank windows, so they're pretty old. So I wasn't able to get at all of them. You'll actually see later I actually sprayed cleaner on one of them and then realized that the screen was on the inside, which I didn't notice till after I sprayed it. I didn't look that closely. So I ended up just doing the ones that didn't have the screen. On these older windows, they're like, the screens don't pop out as easily as the newer ones. They actually are screwed in. So it's a lot more difficult to get those off and everything. So I just got at the windows that I could. I love this little window cleaner. It makes it, one, super easy, and two, very quick. It is now I'm going to lose my train of thought. I want to say Wagner, but I think that is wrong. But if you look up vacuum squeegees, there's a couple brands of them. I really love this thing. But then I am just going in with my basic favorite floor cleaner. I am using just some Pine Sol and really, really hot water. It's a deep hole where I bleed. Oh, can I seal it? You're like an ocean without land. Not a single grain of sand. I'm drifting on it. So cold, get warm. When you hold me, when you close. I hope you guys had a fabulous weekend. I know we had a lot of fun this weekend. Friday was trunk or treat at my kids' school, which this year was so much nicer. Last year when we went, it was a rainy, gloomy weekend, so they ended up having it inside the school, and that was insane. It was so many people just packed into the hallways of the school. And this year, the weather was beautiful, so they did it outside in the parking lot like it's supposed to, and it was a lot of fun. It was still very overwhelming, and if you've been with my channel for a while, you know this about me, but if you're new here, I actually have a seizure disorder that I've had since I was younger. And one of the things that always gets me are large crowds. I get very overwhelmed and like shut down. So we did it pretty quickly because it was still kind of hectic, but the kids had a lot of fun. And then on Saturday on Beach Street near my mom's coffee shop, Indian Motorcycles put on a business trick or treat. So we went down there, walked from my mom's shop, Sweet Marley's, all the way up to Indian and back. They also have the park across the street finally open, and it is beautiful. And the kids played in the splash pad. They were a little nervous because they were all in their costumes, and I'm like, you guys said you're warm, go ahead. I knew they'd dry off enough that it wouldn't be a big deal, but they were like very concerned that I was saying they could play in the splash pad in their Halloween costumes. But yeah, no, it was a lot of fun. And on top of them doing the business trick or treat, it was Oktoberfest that they were doing that Saturday. So they had some live music, some food trucks, just a really fun event. I honestly love any of the events that they do on Beach Street. It's always a lot of fun. They have art festivals. They always have a really fun St. Patrick's Day. They just do a ton, and I always love going out there.
My ace boom boom, no flex, no.
So I know often the question comes up of how I find people to help, and a lot of this is word of mouth, but I want to highly recommend if you are looking to help someone. I know it's really easy to like get pulled into those like really hoarder situations, and I did a lot of those also obviously back in Wisconsin where I knew a lot more people. But I have been enjoying so much just helping even just the everyday people with some of these things. I know someone would probably come into this older couple's home and be like, oh, it's no big deal. Like, their house looks fine. But I know they so deeply appreciate someone coming in and doing the things that just they can't do. Like, on the surface, their house looks very clean, and it is very clean, do not get me wrong, but they really did appreciate having someone come in and hit those areas that they just can't anymore. So if you're ever looking to help someone, because I promise you, as much as you are helping other people, it feels good to also help someone. I always say that, like, I know this is blessing someone, but it always blesses me as well, because it gives you that feel-good moment. But helping an elderly couple or a stay-at-home mom that's feeling overwhelmed, or anyone, there's always so many options out there. Don't feel like you have to look for this biggest, most overwhelming project to be useful. I can guarantee that there are probably people in your life right now that you could do a surprise cleaning for and make them feel so much better. I love this after shot. They have such beautiful natural light, and through that back window you can actually see the Halifax. It's kind of hard to see here on video, but it's just absolutely a beautiful little room to sit in. And then you can see this room is just adjacent to that. This one had a little bit more clutter and stuff, so I wanted to go around and just neaten everything up, and then obviously give it that really good deep cleaning as well. You'll notice a lot of race car stuff in their house. The husband was actually a former, what was he? I know he was I don't know if it was NASCAR back in the day or if it was called something else, but he was a former race car driver, and he's got a couple trophies and plaques and Hall of Fame stuff. So very, very cool. It's funny because when my parents first bought this house, I had just turned 16, because I remember coming down here to help my mom paint and decorate and do all those things. Yes, I loved it ever since I was little, and I used to help my mom all the time. But my mom was talking to these neighbors, and they brought up racing, because obviously we have the Daytona racetrack right here in Daytona for the Daytona 500 and all of that. And mind you, I was not a race car fan. I'm still I'm getting into it, but I still don't really watch it or understand it. I'll usually have it on in the background. But my little 16-year-old self made the smart-ass comment of how the only fun thing about watching race car drivers is the big crashes. To then realize not only was he a former race car driver, but their son was a current one. And I felt mortified for the longest amount of time that I had told this woman that my favorite part is when her husband and son crashes the cars. Oh, also, how cool is this old sewing machine? That's what this table is. I love old sewing machines. They are absolutely gorgeous. It was funny walking into this house because it was like a time capsule of pieces. There were some newer pieces, but there are so many pieces that are just like old school, very pretty. But their house, I love their house. After I was done on this day, I was actually talking to my mom, and I was like, I would love to make over this house, because pretty much everything was original, but it was in such immaculate condition. I could see someone moving into this house and being able to just slowly renovate it, because the floors are gorgeous. Absolutely stunning original hardwood floors that are in amazing shape. You don't see floors this old in as good of shape as these ones were. The drywall was in really good shape. The windows need to be replaced. That would be something that I would do right away, but there is just a lot about this house that was very, very nice, that I was like, it's crazy, because you don't often see homes of this age in such good condition.
Feel the air get thinner. I'm standing in a blurry dream. No one else can see us.
So I'm sure you guys have seen it all over the place, but there are already so many people decorating for Christmas. It is all over the internet. It's all over my YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, everything. But it got me thinking, because yesterday I watched Amanda from This Crazy Life. I'm sure you guys all know Amanda. If you don't, check her out. Absolutely love her. She decorated for Christmas, and it's just fun to see the different styles. I don't decorate like Amanda at all when it comes to holidays. When it comes to Christmas, I want my house to feel like a Hallmark movie. I want the lights and the red and green, and you guys, if you've seen my holiday decorating, you guys know I love the over-the-top, whimsical, magical feeling. But that doesn't mean I don't appreciate the more subdued, elegant, neutral Christmas decor. But yeah, I've been having so much fun watching all the different videos. I've had so many videos about a gingerbread kitchen, which is getting me tempted to buy gingerbread stuff for my kitchen, but I have no need for it. One, I don't really have the place to put a lot of Christmas decorations in my kitchen because my cabinets go all the way to the ceiling and I don't have a crazy amount of counter space. But yeah, lots of really good Christmas decorating videos out there already. And I love the Christmas decorating videos. Like, I will watch those all season just because I love seeing the different things that people do, the music, everything about it. I always really, really enjoy.
Like no one has ever could. You fuel my fire. What are the odds we end up loving it? Spending every minute together. I found it quite odd, quite lovely. You start me up like no one has ever could. You fuel my fire, fire, fire. You fuel my fire, fire, fire. You fuel my fire, fire.
So in this glass spray bottle, so the glass spray bottle is actually from Grove Collaborative. I got a couple glass bottles from them a couple years ago, and I love their glass bottles just because I can use it for any cleaner I want. So usually you'll see either my Thieves cleaner in it, or I'll do a pine salt and water mix in there. Those are usually my go-to on this day. This one does have my Thieves cleaner in it. It works really well because I know this can go wood, glass, like it works on all the different places. And when I'm going to someone else's house, I like to have a cleaner that I can use on everything. Because often I don't know what I'm walking into. I have been into this couple's house a handful of times. Most recently was last year, and it was when the wife had sent my mom a text, and her face was all black and blue, so swollen, and I was sitting at my mom's counter, and my mom shows me this, and both of us are like, what happened? And we assumed that her husband had like fallen on her or something to that effect. So quickly we get up and run across the street to make sure that she was okay. Turns out she ended up falling after playing bingo with some friends and just landed wrong, and her face was all beat up, and she was laughing her butt off that she had scared Mom and I. But yeah, I have not been into this house often, so I got a little squirrely there and then forgot what I was talking about. But that's why I like coming in with like my Thieves cleaner, because I know, not knowing 100% what their furniture looked like I couldn't remember. I knew this is something that I could pretty much touch everything in their house to give it a really good dusting and cleaning and everything.
Follow me into the night. Without you, I'm falling deeper. Stay a bit longer. Yeah, I just need you to.
So my plan for this house, since they are out of town, is that I did so much work on this day, but then I do plan on going back one more time because I really want to make sure all of the like main living area does get tackled. So this day I started on, like I said, more high impact areas, their main sitting room, and then I just started working out from there. But I still would really love to get in and do their kitchen. When I got there, I did like a quick walk around of the house just to get a feel of what areas I think would make the biggest impact for them. And these are the rooms that I think will be the best. I noticed the cabinets could use a really good wipe down. And then you can see I needed to get that light fixture. Light switches and outlet plugs are one of the areas that I think get neglected the most in most homes and get dirty so quickly and can make the biggest impact to clean them. So if you don't want to do anything today, I at least recommend going around and hitting some of those light switches in your house. The ones in your kitchen, by your front door, bathrooms. Those are usually the dirtiest. Now, obviously, you can hit all of them in your house, but definitely those like all day, multiple time a day switches. If you want to just go around, hit those today, make that your little project that you can check off your to-do list, something that we don't often think about, but is probably definitely something that needs to be done. I promise you it'll make a big difference and you will feel so good to have that project done.
Serve more. Sorry to my ex-boss, but I'd rather stay poor. Well, so maybe I'll go to hell.
Oh, so I think I forgot to update you guys. I know Bobby has given updates on our family vlog channel, Cambriea and Bobby, but not all of you guys watch that. But I was going to give updates about our ducklings. So she ended up having all 15 eggs hatch. She started with 20 something, and then at 2 weeks I candled them, which is basically just taking a really bright flashlight and shining it into the egg at night, and you can usually see the baby or the veins depending on how early it is. And I got rid of any eggs that were unfertilized. At that 2 week mark, you should be able to see like actual veins and baby moving inside. And if they lit up like light bulbs, you know they weren't good eggs anymore. So we got rid of a couple eggs after candling at 2 weeks. And then after that major flood, I had a couple eggs that started turning gray, which for Muscovies is a pretty quick sign that those eggs are going rotten. They should not be changing colors on the exterior of the egg. So I removed those. That way there weren't any rotten eggs in her nest. So she was left with 15, and all 15 of them hatched. Unfortunately, we did end up losing 2 of the ducklings, one from natural causes, which I'm not surprised. Usually when there's one egg that is a late hatch, usually it's a weaker bird, and that's just what ended up happening. And then we had one bird that ended up drowning in the kiddie pool in their cage. I didn't even know they could jump high enough to get in there. But I ended up having to drain that pool, and now they have only very, very little bit in it. But they still have their pool outside of their cage. It just means they can't go swimming at night. But yeah, so she has 13 eggs, but Ferrari decided to go broody, and I gave her the 6 eggs that were in the incubator inside. So I'm crossing my fingers that her eggs hatch. Those are the ones I'm most excited for. Just for the health of my birds, I wanted new bloodline, and she would be sitting on eggs that are all new bloodline, not related to her or any of the other ducks at all, and it just makes it to be a lot healthier in the long run. So cross my fingers, they should be hatching this weekend, so I have been keeping a very, very close eye on her. I want to thank each and every one of you for watching today's video and watching it this far into the video. I always really appreciate everyone that likes, comments, obviously subscribe if you're new, sharing this video and watching it to the end. Those are all things that really help out my channel, and I greatly appreciate it. You guys make it so that I can do these helping hand series, and I absolutely love that. But I will see you guys next time. Bye.